What I will be doing today is going over the exam objectives. So this is a document that I had sent previously at the beginning of this program. It's a 2-page document, and it just breaks down the different questions and sections as well as subjects that there are questions on in the certification exam. So I'll briefly be going over that, but what I'm going to do at the end is I am open to any questions that you have moving forward, whether it's about training, the certification exam itself, and so on. So, speaking about the exam objectives, the first topic is Quickbooks Setup. So, a brief background about the certification exam. Again, it is a multiple choice exam. So there are 50 multiple choice questions, and it's about 50 minutes long. So, about a minute per question. With the exam, you will be able to flag a question if you don't know the answer right offhand. So say, for instance, you want to skip over something, you can flag it to be able to review later and then go back. So in order to qualify for the exam, you will have finished all of your training and metrics learning. So that is the info sheet, the certification tutorial, Mastering QuickBooks Level 1, QuickBooks Pro 2009 Getting Started, and then the 2 Prove-It assessments, QuickBooks Pro 2012 and QuickBooks Pro 2011. So upon completing all of these, you'll receive an automated voucher to your email. With this voucher comes 3 practice tests. These tests directly replicate the types of questions and the situation that you'll be in the day of the certification exam. They're provided with your voucher, so it's through Certiport. So between the training that you're taking in metrics, in addition to this, the 3 test preps that you'll be able to take before the exam, you'll feel pretty well prepared. So I mentioned 50 multiple choice questions. In order to pass the exam, you need a 700 out of 1,000 or higher. So when I'm talking about these, different sections for the exam objectives, just kind of keep that in mind. If something says 10% of the questions, that's 5 questions that will be asked in that topic area. So what I'll do now is go over the exam objectives. So the first thing you'll want to know is QuickBooks Setup. This is 6% of the questions that are asked. You'll want to know what information is required before you set up a QuickBooks file. So in order to create a company, you'll need to know basic company information and know general operations within the company. You'll also want to know how to start a new company file in QuickBooks, how to keep the lists and preferences from an old file while removing transactions, how to set up the home page or customize the home page, so that is through preferences, and how to set up lists, including customers, vendors, items, etc. So this includes understanding which names and items should appear on which list. Topic number 2 is QuickBooks Utilities and General Product Knowledge. This is 10% of the questions asked. You will want to know how to navigate or move around QuickBooks using the home page, menus, icon bar, and so on. How to back up and restore a data file. So doing that, you go to File, Open, or Restore Company. How to determine the release number and how to update QuickBooks. How to use QuickBooks in single-user and multi-user mode. What versions and editions of QuickBooks are available for a specific year. How to password protect QuickBooks. And how and why to use preferences. Topic number 3 is list management. This is 6% of the questions. You'll want to know how to manage lists, including customers, vendors, items, and so on. List management includes adding new entries, deleting entries, editing entries, and merging entries. So again, for merging entries, you rename the list entry, and you'll want to look at pages 30 to 32 of the Day 1 manual. Next, you'll want to know about items. This is 8% of the questions asked. You'll want to know how QuickBooks uses items to perform necessary accounting entries, the different types of items and when to use each type. So for this, I recommend going to Chapter 5, page 48. How to use items for different types of scenarios, which includes companies that sell products for a specified price, services for a specified price, unique products or services that have different prices for each sale, and one product or service. So the difference between inventory parts, non-inventory parts, and inventory assembly. So section number 5 is sales, 10% of the questions asked. You'll want to know the 5 ways to record sales. So that is invoices, sales receipts, statement charges, deposits, and through Excel, Peachtree, or another QuickBooks compatible program. You'll want to know who should be listed in the Customer Center, how to navigate and use the Customer Center, how to complete the workflow from sale to making the deposit for invoicing, sales receipts. So again, invoicing, you will invoice if someone is paying that not at the time of sale. But for sales receipts, you will create a sales receipt when someone does pay at the time of sale. You'll want to know how QuickBooks uses the undeposited funds, accounts receivable, and checking accounts in the invoicing cycle, how and why to record a customer credit, how and why to create statements, and how to handle bounced or NSF checks if someone writes you a bad check. So topic number 6 is purchases. Again, this is 10% of the questions asked. You will want to know who should be listed in the vendor center. So again, a vendor is anyone you pay. So this can mean subcontractors, utility companies, your landlord, tax agencies, or suppliers. Also, how to navigate and use the vendor center. You'll want to know the different workflows for making purchases, including entering and paying bills, writing checks, using a credit card, using a debit card, how to record the transactions in the purchase workflows, how and why to record a vendor credit, how to complete the inventory workflow, so from purchase order to payment, how to set up, collect, and pay sales tax, and bank reconciliation. Topic number 7 is payroll. So going into this, a quick note. Having taken the training and doing the different assessments, I noticed that payroll was a section that I really needed more help with. So I was sure to go back into the manual, go back into the training, review the topic, and also QuickBooks support online. If you can search different topics on the QuickBooks support page, and they give some explanations. So again, payroll is 12% of what you'll be asked about. You'll want to know the differences between the payroll services available from QuickBooks, so basic, enhanced, assisted, and direct. How to set up payroll, including employees, federal and state taxes, and basic payroll deductions using the Payroll Setup Wizard. How to set up an employee's earnings and sick or vacation time. How to track sick or vacation time, including hours and using banked hours. How and why to set up payroll schedules. How to run payroll. How and why to pay payroll liabilities, how to prepare payroll forms, including 941 and W-2 in QuickBooks, and how to track time and use it for payroll or for invoicing customers. Topic number 8 is reports. This is 16% of the questions asked. So again, knowing this, I was adamant about making sure I knew and understood reports, knowing that this is the most percentage of questions asked. You will want to know how and why to use the report center, how to customize reports, including report modifications, collapsing accounts, sub-accounts, etc., the basic question that each report answers, so a basic understanding of each report, how and why to process multiple reports, how and why to send reports to Excel, so understanding and using the basic and advanced tab, how to memorize reports, so to add a memorize report group, so by selecting reports, memorized reports, or clicking memorize within report to actually memorize that report. So topic number 9 is basic accounting. This is 10% of the questions asked. You'll want to know what the basic financial statements are and have a basic understanding of what they mean, the difference between cash and accrual reports. So again, accrual-based accounting recognizes expenses and income in the period that they have occurred, regardless if payment has actually occurred. But cash basis does not recognize items until they've actually been paid. You'll want to know how and why to set a closing date, and also how to enter a journal entry if asked to do so by an accountant. But you won't need to fully understand which accounts to debit or credit. Lastly, customization and saving time and shortcuts is 12% of the questions. So you'll want to know how and why to memorize transactions, how and why to set up multiple users and what level of access can be granted or denied, and lastly, how and why to create custom fields, so customers, vendors, and employees. So with these exam objectives, you've gone over all of this training and all these different subjects here. So as you're reviewing, going through the training, potentially reviewing the recorded review videos, which I do recommend you do, just take a look at this exam objectives document. Make sure that you can you know, answer all the different areas or kind of address the different sections that are listed. And this is a very helpful document to go off of because you know based upon the number of questions in the exam, you know, what there is more emphasis on and so on. So at this point, I'm going to go into Q&A. I'm going to unmute the line, and I'm open to any questions that you have moving forward. So you are all set to speak up. Does anyone have any questions at this point?
Yes. Can you just tell me what the 10th objective was? Right, my daughter woke up, so I had to get her, and I missed what I should be studying for that.
Not a problem. So that objective is customization and saving time in shortcuts.
Oh. Now, I do have a question about the Certitude test. We can take each of those exams only one time, correct?
Yes, the practice tests through Certiport, each of those are one-time use only.
Okay. Now, does that affect our score for the course, or is that separate?
Nope, it's completely different.
Okay.
So the Certiport tests, you won't access those through Metrics Learning. You'll access them through Certiport. So it will be, you know, completely separate. You'll be able to see your score each time you take it. And also what's great about the practice tests is you can answer the questions, and afterwards it gives you feedback. So you'll be able to understand, you know, why a question is right, wrong, and so on.
Gotcha.
In addition, yes, I'd sent a document, and I will send it for everyone when they get their exam voucher. It is a QuickBooks Practice Questions with Feedback document. So what I found in preparing for this, seeing what else I could provide people to prepare themselves for the exam, is a document of 100 questions. So it has the multiple choice format, A, B, C, and D, all the different, you know, choices you can choose, and the explanation behind what question is correct.
Okay. Valerie, can I also have you send me a link to, because you said you were going to record this, a link to this, and also can you email any pertinent information that I might need that I was unable to get when I actually watching the webinar?
Of course, yeah. So I can go ahead. What I am doing is recording this, so I'll send you the link after. And more or less, we just worked off of one document here, but yeah, I can send that over. And some additional information I do want to give you, speaking of, is I've heard back from the One Stop about when they would like to facilitate testing. So you are able to test. There's 3 different testing dates they're giving. So 4/9, 4/10, and 4/14. So let's see, I'm going to look at my calendar here, see exactly which days of the week that is. So the One Stop will be facilitating testing next Wednesday, next Thursday, and then the following Monday, the 14th. And there will be testing between 1 and 4 p.m. So just kind of keeping that in mind. If there is a date that you want to set up right now, let me know. If not, you can contact Wendy directly and set up a testing date and time between any of those 3 dates.
Valerie, this is Victoria. I'm sure you know that, but the 14th would be best for me.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and mark you down for that. So it's any time between 1 and 4. The exam is an hour long, more or less, 50 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Valerie, this is Deborah, and I also would like to go on the 14th.
Okay. All right, just made a note of that. And how about you, Louise? Do you know yet?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, that's not a problem. If you want to continue on in training, if you figure out which date would be best for you, just let me know. I can contact Wendy, or you can let her know directly, too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if the 10th or the 14th is good for me. I was going to do the 10th, but I don't know the schedule this week.
Okay,
So
well, not a problem.
I would have to get back to Wendy on that.
All right, not a problem. So great. I'm glad that we we're able to, kind of tentatively or definitely know when you guys would like to test. So I will let Wendy know that once I speak with her.
Okay.
Okay. Does anyone have any further questions at this point? That's basically all I have, so I'm open to anything you have.
I do have one question. Is there any possible way, is the main objective pretty much our study guide? Maybe that's how we would know what topics to study. Because I could sit there and read the whole manuals all over again, but it does take a little bit of time.
Sorry, can you repeat that? It was kind of broken up.
I'm sorry. I was wondering if there was any specific study guide, or if I should use the main objectives as pretty much what I should use to study, because I could read the whole manual, but it would take a little bit of time.
No, absolutely. So my suggestion is a couple of different things. You should go off the exam objectives to study, and then also, rather than reading the entire manual, what I can do is I can resend everyone the recorded review videos for day 1 and day 2, because that's basically 15 or 20 minutes each. It's all the information you're learning, but kind of compiled in, and it focuses on what you do need to know.
Okay, awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's good.
So not a problem. I think between the two of those, referring to that, if you don't understand a topic or you see it on the exam objectives and it's not covered in depth enough, you can go into your manual, but hopefully those different, things will be good. And again, when you do receive the exam voucher, I'll give you those 100 practice questions. So practice test-wise, we want to make sure that you guys are as good to go as possible, and that's why we, provide A, all this training, but B, all of the, replication of the questions that you'll get.
No, I think I did get my voucher.
Yes, you did.
Okay, I thought I did. I wasn't sure. I was almost positive that I had that. Do I actually have to print that and bring it to the exam?
No, so when you set your Certiport account up, what you do is you'll enter the voucher number at the bottom of the page, so it'll be associated to your account. And that is also how you access those 3 practice tests. Is once that's set to you, it'll load those 3 into your account too.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, Valerie, this is Louise. Okay, so once I get 2011 done and do the test questions and everything, then I will be getting an email with the voucher and everything, or how does that go? I haven't gotten that far yet. Oh, okay, I will. Okay.
So once you complete everything, you'll get 2 emails, actually. You'll get an automated email with your voucher information, and then afterwards we will follow up with another email that lists your Certiport practice test information, 3 vouchers that you got, as well as how you set that up and actually take the practice test, because there's a little bit of a process in doing that.
Okay, the test for the Certiport. Okay.
Yes, the 3 practice tests, correct.
Okay, the practice test. Okay, so that'll just come one after the other. Okay. Right. I'm not there yet, so I'm just questioning.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So.
Yeah. Okay. And
Valerie,
the other question I do have one other question, Valerie. Okay. Is there? Okay, so I can go back into the manuals and just go over them. It's just so hard going back and forth into them.
Yeah, so you're welcome to, go into the manuals review. I know it is difficult, kind of, toggling back and forth, but you can do that, and then also, the 2 videos that I recorded, the recorded review sessions, go off those manuals too. So, whichever you want to choose.
All right. Okay, sounds good.
Valerie, what's the status of the technical difficulties with 2009? Are those going to be corrected, or so that we can go back and redo that? I know we talked about this yesterday, but I was wondering if the difficulties were going to be rectified.
Is this Victoria speaking, or is this?
No, this is Deborah.
Deborah, okay, sorry. So I am continuing to go with Skill. It's a Skillsoft issue. It's not on metrics end. It's within the course itself. So what I am doing is I am documenting issues that people are having in 2009. If you can send any information, if you are unable to input information in this specific spot or move forward from somewhere, I'm sending that all to them so they can get the issue rectified. So it's being worked on. In the meantime, if Deborah, you have trouble, or Louise, moving forward with the 2009, let me know, and I can follow up with you in regards to that training. And we're doing everything we can on our end here to get that, set up. But
I'll tell you one other. If you give me just 5 seconds, I'll tell you one other problem that I forgot to tell you about yesterday, and that was that when the program asked for us to do the steps, I did the steps. It told me that I was doing it incorrectly. I said, show me how to do it, and they did it exactly the way I did it. So that was another problem that I forgot to mention to you.
Not a problem. Thank you for letting me know that. And if you remember the section that you were on for that, if you can follow up with me after this webinar, I can go ahead and send that over to them.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
When I was doing level the 1 and 2, I kept getting a screen that said to resume where I left off, and it was like it was just like a continual loop of that. And I didn't know if that interrupted the whole process. I don't know.
Let's see. So were you able to move forward from there to finish the training?
I don't know. I was confused because it said I did not complete it until this morning, and I think you came in and took over, and I don't understand why. And the thing is I can't take, right now I can't take my security off because I'm going off of Quickbooks, so they won't allow me to take my security off, which I have standby security. So I don't know if that's interfering with it. I don't know.
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay.
So it sounds like it wasn't bookmarking, it wasn't playing from where you had gone, but you said you were able to complete the course okay. So
yes,
from here,
I went through level 1 and 2, yes.
Okay. So if you do want to go back in and review any sections, all you have to do is click directly on the link that says, the link on the side. If it says, do you want to resume where you left off, you can click no if you want to be able to click within any of the subsections. But, sorry that you'd had that trouble, and I'm glad they're able to progress forward from there.
Okay, so I can go back in there and just go over
different topics. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Or go over the manual. Okay. Okay.
All right, great. So anything else from anyone else?
No, it's just review.
I was going to say, I think it pretty much covers it for me. I mean, a lot of it is just studying and flashcards now.
Yes, absolutely. So, and again, thank you all so much for being on the line today. This is a really good review. I'm glad that hopefully we got all the right questions answered. And beyond this, in progressing toward training, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We're always available. And I will let the one-stop know about your interest in the dates or potential dates for testing. And we're looking forward to helping you get the certification. So thank you so much again.
Well, thank you for all of your help up until now, because I know I have sent you probably 100 emails, and I'm really grateful.
No, it's not a problem. That's what we're here for. So, and thank you for your patience with all of that, too.
Thank you, Valerie.
You're welcome. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Goodbye.